Hey everybody, we're continuing our series on rhythm patterns, and today we're going to talk about our 5-note rhythm pattern. We're going to play that over our 3rd chord progression. So we use all these progressions. We start with the major scale, and we've been doing these in the key of C. So you take the C major scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and then you apply the number system to that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, and then you use chords to play over that major scale. So here's how it works. C is your 1 chord. Your 2 chord is a D minor. Your 3rd chord is a 1 over 3, that's a slash chord. Your 4th chord is an F. 5 chord's a G. Your 6th chord is an A minor. Your 7th chord is a 5 over 7, so that's another slash chord. And then your last chord's a 1. But the problem with this progression, like we've talked about before, it doesn't sound very good when you play it like that. So that's why we've come up with these 5 separate chord progressions to kind of replay this progression, just so we can make it sound a little bit smoother. So this 3rd progression. Have you ever wanted to learn how to play your favorite worship songs on piano? Well, I have something that's perfect for you. It's called Worship Piano Academy. It's an online space to help people of all skill levels learn to play worship piano exactly like the pros do. It's packed full of simple techniques that are easy to follow and tailored specifically for worship piano players. If you're brand new to piano, we have all the basic lessons to get you on track. If you've been playing for a while, we have tons of advanced lessons and tips for you too. So check out worshippianoacademy.com. Is going to sound like this. Our right hand is doing 2-note chords. So instead of playing the full chord, you're only doing 2 notes with the right hand, and then you walk up that major scale. So your C chord, or your 1 chord, looks like this. Your 2 minor, or your D minor, 1 over 3, your 4, your 5, your 6 minor, 5 over 7, and your 1. And then we're going to apply that 5-note rhythm pattern over this progression. And so quarter notes is kind of where you start. So there's 4 quarter notes inside a measure of music. And so you count it 1, 2, 3, 4. If you double that rhythm pattern, then you get 8th notes. And so that's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then 16th notes is double that. So you count it 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. So that 16th note is how we're going to play our rhythm pattern. And it's 5 notes. And so let's start with the left hand first, because the left hand is a little bit more confusing. So as you walk up this major scale, your second finger is going to play the 5th note of the next chord that you're going to play. The only caveat to that is when you get to your slash chords. So your 1 over 3 and your 5 over 7, your second finger is going to change. So because it's a slash chord, you're basically playing, so your 1 over 3 is a C over E. So you're playing with your second finger the C, and then your bass note's an E. Same thing when you get to your 5 over 7 or your G over B, your second finger's playing the G, and then your bass note's the B. So, but those are the only 2 changes. Everything else, you're playing the 5th note of the next chord. So if we're going to walk up, here's our 1, here's our 2 minor, that's your slash chord, so that's when your second finger changes. Here's your 4 chord, your 5, your 6 minor, your 5 over 7, that's another change, and then 1. So if we add chords to this, that. And if you walk down, so now the rest of the rhythm pattern we're going to do with our right hand, and it's the first and the last note of the chord that you're playing, regardless of the progression that you're doing. So in this case, we're only doing 2-note chords, so it's going to be the first and last note. So it's 5 notes, and so it's going to be on the, if our chord changes on the 1, then the 5-note rhythm pattern will be A, 4, E, and going into the chord change on the 1 beat. So we'll do it real slow. So if our first chord's on the 1, 1, 2, 3, A, 4, E, and onto the next chord, 2, 3, A, 4, E, and 1, 2, 3, A, 4, E, and 2, 3, A, 4, E, and 2, 3, A, 4, E, and 1, 2, 3, 4, E, and 1, 2, 3, 4, E, So let's speed this up a little bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Let's walk down. 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Just like that. And now let's speed up this chord changes, and so we have a chord change on the 1 and the 3 beat. So in that case, our rhythm pattern is going to be a 2 E and then a 4 E and a. So it'll sound like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Just like that. And then the last thing we'll do, we can add quarter note rhythm hits with our right hand if the chord changes are spread out. So let's keep a chord change on the 1 beat. We'll do quarter note rhythm patterns on the 2 and 3, and then we'll do that 5-note rhythm pattern on the 4 E and then we'll go into the chord change on the 1. So it'll sound like this: 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Let's walk down. Just like that. So it's important, if there's any sticky points in this where you're having trouble staying on the rhythm, just slow it down and download a metronome app and play along to a metronome. So start the metronome at a very slow pace, and so you can really get that rhythm pattern, really make sure that it's on those 16th note hits. Because if it's not perfect and you're not right in time with the metronome, it's not going to sound very good. So it's really important, especially if your left hand's getting it's kind of the sticky part. Really just focus on the left hand and make sure that everything's good before you start speeding up. And then another good thing to practice, instead of just walking up and down that progression, is to jump around to different keys inside that progression, because when you're playing songs, they never just follow that progression where it walks all the way up and all the way down. So let's just pick a couple chord progressions. Let's try 4, 1, 5, 6, and then apply that rhythm pattern and see how it sounds. And then you can jump around to different chords, but we'll try 4, 1, 5, 6. So let's jump around a little bit. Just like that. And another important thing too is once you get this in the key of C, once you're smooth and you can play it really well with a fast metronome, now try practicing in all the other 12 keys. So let's go through that. So we'll start in the key of C and we'll go through all the 12 keys just to make sure we got this. Let's go D. E. let's do our sharps and flats. We'll do C sharp. And then E flat. F sharp. And then A flat. Let's go down here. And then B flat. And that's it. So work on that, and then I will see you in the next lesson.